Noted and observed, you've given opportunity to your left side to contribute on this very important national matter. And those of us this side
I'm going to give you.
Have been denied the opportunity to contribute on this very important matter.
I'm going to give you. So I want a clarification.
Stakeholders from the areas where they come. Right, Honorable Speaker, we were here yesterday and the reports were tabled. I listened to the report of the Honorable Linda, very good report, as she kept laying down the good about UCDA. She mentioned UCDA is hitting its targets. The coffee economy has grown over the years. The roles of UCDA and MAIF are totally different and cannot be bungled together, and so on and so forth. I wondered what happened now with the conclusion, because I thought after laying that stage, it would be clear that MAIF should keep doing what it is doing. UCDA should be empowered to continue doing what it has been doing. Honorable Speaker, of course, like any other entity, UCDA has some imperfections, without doubt. But the challenges at the ministry are enormous. And that's why, as colleagues have been clearly airing it out, some of what the ministry is handling has seemed to be too much on its plate. And yet we are saying UCDA has been thriving. Why don't we empower it to thrive a lot more? Why don't we empower it to go to those areas which have now begun growing coffee? Because I listened to colleagues from West Nile and elsewhere, and they're saying we've also begun to grow coffee. But UCDA had not reached there. And clearly it is because, Right Honorable Speaker, government had decided, let us zone the country. These ones coffee, these ones dairy, and that kind of thing. And we must be able to move away from that, yeah? Yeah, because if a crop can grow in a particular area, why not? Why not let it? So can we empower UCDA to go to those other areas? Because if it is showing that it is able to thrive in the areas where it is thriving now, why do you imagine it will have limitations when you empower it to go elsewhere? Honorable Speaker, the stakeholders of the coffee economy, including, of course, MPs from the coffee growing areas, have spoken on behalf of the 12.5 million people that are involved in the coffee economy. Can we listen to these stakeholders? Yesterday we did listen to colleagues who were making a case, saying they are from the dairy areas, the cattle growing areas, the cotton growing areas, and they told us, because we began to defend them, and they said, no, you people keep quiet. We are the ones who grow cotton. We are the ones who are producing milk. So we understand our issues better. And we want those entities to go back to the ministries. We actually gave up the fight. We said, now, how do you fight for someone who is saying, for us who want our entities to be rationalized? We let them be. Today, Right Honorable Speaker, you're hearing voices of people who represent stakeholders that are growing coffee. We need to listen to them. Honorable Speaker, I even think, personally, if need be, maybe some people who might say, well, we are not too sure, you could grant them maybe 2 weeks or that kind of thing to go and establish from their constituents, to be certain, because a number of us who are speaking, we have consulted the stakeholders that we represent. So we're not just speaking our mind. We're speaking the mind of the stakeholders that we represent. Honorable Speaker, very critically, the mandate of the 11th Parliament, this one, ends in 2026. I wonder why then we would say, let's give 3 years or even 5 years to bind the 12th Parliament. Why? Why do we want to bind the Parliament that will come after us? A number of us, I believe, will be back here, but we shall be back in the 12th Parliament. This is the 11th Parliament. If government is convinced that it requires 3 years or even 5 years to get the ministry set, to put in place all the infrastructure that is required, why don't you wait for the 3 years to elapse, put your house in order, come to the 12th Parliament and make your case. Because now we are operating in anticipation to say, well, we hope in 3 years we shall be ready. But you see, as some colleagues have mentioned rightly, to get the certification and all the infrastructure that is required in place, you need several years to do that. So government, let the 3 years, 5 years, or whatever time you require to get ready, to put your house in order. Come to the 12th Parliament and make your case. Don't ask the 11th Parliament to bind the Parliament that will come.
Because the seriousness of the subject, we are in a country which is struggling for opportunity for people. Now, I have listened and I would like to make some comments. First, the political economy of the so-called allocation of specialized crops in various parts of Uganda. It has got a colonial history. First of all, the British told us a big lie, that coffee does not grow in northern Uganda. Because they were white and better educated than us, we believed them. But there's an old man called Wilson Lutara and another old man called Peter Abe and another one called Semei Nyanzi. They planted coffee in their compounds in defiance to challenge that lie. Why did the British do this? They subjected the people from the Upper Nile, which is northern Uganda, to the seasonal crops, which require a lot of hard labor. It is not as rewarding, and you are tied down to only your garden. You can't even operate a shop. Unlike the people in the south who had the perennial crops like tea and coffee, while the coffee is making money for you, the tea is making money for you, you are able to do other things. And the purpose, the hidden purpose, was to force the people of the north to enroll in the army and choose salaries over self-employment. I thought I should share that aspect of the political economy. So I think it is inappropriate to say we are not to blame that you never caught up with the coffee. It is important that we understand it as a matter of fact. Secondly, Madam Speaker, and finally, there is a false dichotomy here. We are not choosing between Ministry of Agriculture and UCDA. They are both part of Uganda. What we want to achieve is to share our real experiences vis-a-vis what the government policy is. When you are choosing between your experience and what you are being told, I'm sure you choose your experience. Madam Speaker, my wife is a coffee grower. And the coffee is now flowering. She's even picking. I have not seen UCDA on the farm. I have not seen Ministry of Agriculture either. That is my experience. Madam, don't shout, improve your argument.
Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, wait. Honorable members.
We are here sharing experiences.
Honorable members.
UCDA has not helped us. Ministry of Agriculture has not helped us.
Honorable members.
We are virtually on our own. So let's find a way together.
Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Let us not start this false rope pulling.
Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
In the 3 years, UCDA will be packed at the Ministry of Agriculture. It is a parking lot while we find a way to serve those of us who are on our own. Thank you, Madam
Speaker. 32 years ago, Right Honorable Specioza Kazibwe led this House as the Minister of Agriculture to come up with UCDA. On that day, Parliament, I've been looking through the answer, Madam Speaker. Parliament unanimously agreed that to allow the coffee growing, marketing, and value addition to thrive, there needed to be a standalone authority to handle this matter. 32 years later, Madam Speaker, UCDA has not let us down. The story has turned from bad, from the coffee wilty disease, to good, to better, to excellency, where we are now among the top 10 in the world as Uganda. Madam Speaker, today if you were to move UCDA to the ministry, who of the two should learn from the other? Because after 32 years without you handling a business, and then all of a sudden you come back, and when you read through the proposal to abolish UCDA, you will find that the workers now are going to be spread in different ministries. That means that we are going to lose all this institutional memory. And I don't know why. Why a parent? Because even in the Act itself, the ministry is given a very big role. I don't know which parent would like her child to go back home after.
Ethan.
The committee was supposed to come up with a solution, a conclusion, summarizing the submissions of all the people that were consulted. But I'm worried. The biggest percentage says don't rationalize, and the committee conclusion says rationalize. Right Honorable Speaker, killing somebody today and bury that person 3 years after is the same. You have already killed. So it's better don't kill now, wait for 3 years to kill that person. So this business of let's kill it now, but bury 3 years or 5 years later is not good to us, Right Honorable Speaker. And Right Honorable Speaker, I am finalizing with this one. For those of you who are well aware of enterprise value chains, not everybody performs all duties on the entire value chains. They are farmers, they are even drinkers.
And given a transition of 5 years. Madam Speaker, they are not giving us a justification. And some people are suggesting 10 years, others are suggesting 20 years.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Minister, this young man here has a very good, bright future. The young boy is asking you, what is the justification of the 3 years? No, the young MP is very brilliant. That is a very good question.
Madam Speaker,
you'll come, Honorable Minister. You take note.
Yes.
He has a very pertinent question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Minister is not giving us a justification. And even Honorable Ebizadde failed. Therefore, Madam Speaker, why are we legislating in anticipation? Why don't you wait until the 3 years elapses, or even 10, or even 5?
So you agree that we give the 3 years to elapse, then we legislate?
Madam Speaker, I'm recommending.
You're recommending?
I'm recommending,
okay.
Like this. I'm recommending finally. We are not allowed to legislate in anticipation. Therefore, I recommend we maintain the status quo and we don't rationalize UCDA. Thank you.
And I want to talk, and I want to address this in a business angle.
A perspective.
Yeah. In business, let us assume this is government in business, and we have been accredited to do business and given the license. And today we're opting for something to clear an agency that has been accredited to opt for 5 years or 10 years without getting a license to operate. which is going to be a loss to the nation, to the farmers, and it is also going to put us in a situation.
I want you to address this issue that Derek is raising very clearly. No, don't go. You people, what Derek is raising is very, very pertinent on the issue of accreditation. So we need that brought out very clearly. Yes, you continue.
Madam Speaker, if only the Minister could address on that and give us assurance, we do believe, yes, I submit.
Issuing a hook, not a fish. And in return, I've seen people in my constituency doing well, and even the line of people coming on my door asking for school fees has declined. So, I'm a medical person, and you can only remove an organ from an individual who is in a vegetative state. It's a criminal case if you remove an organ from a person who is functional. So it means they brought this idea in a bad spirit.
Thank you.
Why do you hate Ugandans?
Sometimes we give time to talk. And wasting time with Honorable Kabanda is really a wastage of time. Because if you are a member of parliament, and you are not aware of what is doing.
Tell us what you're saying.
Madam Speaker, I have to care because he was giving information.
You continue.
He needs more time to be educated about constituency and UCDA. But however, continue with your spirit as you are taking it to yourself. The boomerang will be on you. The boomerang is on you. But UCDA has been giving us seedings. From Ngabirano, now the one who took over, they have been doing that role. Even quality assurance alone. When you talk about Kasambia that does not have quality assurance, about coffee, whom are you presenting in this house?
Thank you.
Never given any coffee seedling in my constituency. It is Operation Wealth Creation that has been giving coffee seedlings in the constituencies. Not UCDA. Second, the Right Honorable Speaker, the information I want to give you. Yes, the information I want to give you.
Yes, you give the information. Give the information.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. UCDA that these people are talking about has never even sent any staff in my constituency to know how many coffee farmers that are in my constituency. If your mother ministry says you... Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, the information I wanted to give him and the clarification is that UCDA has never given any coffee seedling to my people, not even to any person here. They can even confess.
One of the most bright people in the army during that time is Honorable Bright Ramirama here. And if he takes history of Masaka, when they captured Masaka, one of the resources they used to win the war was coffee. You took coffee, signatures made by General Eddie Tumwine, the late Minister, rest in peace, and that's how, and Leyland vehicles. That was Coffee Marketing Board. Later on, you killed the coffee after taking government. And people have fought their battle using UCDA to come back. Bugorob is nowhere. All the cooperatives are nowhere. People have started growing their coffee, and UCDA has given them support. Why do you fear people becoming rich? Why? Why do you fear people having money? Statistics in our constituencies show that because of coffee and UCDA giving them seedlings, people have got money. They are paying fees for their children. They are taking them to St. Mary's College. They are even paying money in government USE schools where you are not giving enough funds. But here you are, trying to bring a penalty by meandering back to the system. Kindly, Honorable Bright Rambirama, go to Isinjiro, where you come from. You know that bananas being grown there. Were they there at that time? What have you done to the horticulture? Obote, left Coffee Marketing Board, lead Marketing Board, and produce for all other agricultural products.
Because we all love our country. And this is what we call home.
It's not about regions. Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the House and also encourage them to keep being objective when we're deliberating on some of these matters. Honorable Bright Ramirama, the Minister for Agriculture as of now, Right Honorable Speaker, I want this House, before even you debate the report for coffee, interest yourself in the Auditor General's report on agriculture for the financial 22-23. Right Honorable Speaker, good enough I came with it. Right Honorable Speaker, we had, no please, this is my time, we had a scenario where, Right Honorable Speaker, we had...
Honorable members, I have said, let's be calm.
Right Honorable Speaker, I would expect my sizement, Honorable Ogwang, to respect the fellow member. Yes, because in any case, they will tell you to stand up. No, that's it.
But
as of now, that intends to take over responsibility of an authority. Right Honorable Speaker, all of you colleagues remember the issue of the foot and mouth disease. This is the same ministry that failed to manage that disaster when it happened. They were given money, failed to procure the vaccines, and we had over a million dose vaccines that expired within the stores. They expired. Yes. Two, they bought goats in the same report. You bought goats and all of them died. Yes, we bought.
Thank you. Evans.
Have any more authority to take over UCDA because you can't manage it.
Evans.
That at least we are receiving something that is addressing the concern and that is speaking to our people. Because when we are speaking about coffee, we are speaking on something or a product that has supported more than millions of families in our country and something that has contributed to the national treasury. So when I had the report from the chairperson, I was so impressed. But on reaching to the conclusion, there I wondered if really the chairperson was still independent and was addressing the concerns and the observations of the committee, or they were working under influence of an invisible hand. Madam Speaker, many people have come out to speak about coffee. And we have a lot of pain, not that we don't want to see government being responsible in the people, but because we know the impact UCDA has done to the coffee industry in our country. Right now, on farm and off farm, UCD is having tangible feel. People feel it because it has helped our people to see and realize enough revenues and to get enough profits. And we are seeing coffee development in our country taking the lead. So, Madam Speaker, I therefore move to be part and associate myself to the minority report to see that this parliament stands independent, such that we don't bring in the resolutions of cabinet, because I've seen...
Honorable Chivumbi.
Agencies like URA, Uganda Investment Authority, is because they are strategic. Do you want to tell me that a blameless entity called UCDA, which has promoted coffee after the destruction and death of Coffee Marketing Board, should be sacrificed because some people are not doing their work? Can we talk about expenditure in a government, in a parliament, for strategic reasons that gives money to a private company, and then we say we cannot give money to an agency? We were informed yesterday, Right Honorable Speaker, that this authority is going to be absorbed in the ministry, and I want to ask, at what level? As a directorate, as a department, as a unit? Since when? If we are to do this, why don't we get things like KCCA, Investment Authority, URA, and put them back to the mother ministries because we want to rationalize? Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, there are people who are deeply concerned in this country. Why haven't we consulted the farmers, the coffee farmers, the cotton farmers, and all the other core stakeholders. I want to conclude by saying, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members, the destruction of a country begins with the destruction of ideology. If we have performing entities and we want to kill them, one will ask, what did Ugandans do to us to deserve the punishment of destroying the small veins that continue to feed them? Maybe you could tell us how much UCDA is consuming from your treasury. We would mobilize cooperatives and associations, coffee associations in this country to foot that bill, since you do not want to finance them.
Thank you.
I oppose the move to rationalize the coffee.
That we are looking for. It gave us, it painted a very good picture, the reality of UCDA in this country. And that is exactly what we needed, except that she had a terrible ending. Right, Honorable Speaker, some analogies have been made in this House with regards to coffee. There was an analogy with regards to rationalization. There was an analogy that was made of us crying more than the bereaved. Then there was an analogy that was made of stepmothers crying more, caring for more than the mothers. Then there was an analogy, and it was stepmothers, but even stepfathers, I think. Then there was another analogy that was used, and I keep asking myself, if we are now using the language of analogies, then why are we letting the mother, why are we sacrificing the baby to a slaughterhouse of a mother? Why is the mother eating the baby? Because first of all, UCDA is doing very well. Now we want to slaughter it by sending it to a slaughterhouse of a mother who is going to end up eating it, engulfing it totally, so that we have nothing. My point coming to is, Madam Speaker, there was an argument of inefficiency of the DDA, of the cotton authority, and that is why we are saying that they need to be merged with MAIF. In this case, UCDA has shown all the right characters of efficiency, and we are still clamping it down with the ones that were allotted inefficient. Why are we still using the same argument? If UCDA is proceeding well, why do we need to rationalize it? Secondly, there is also the last one, Madam Speaker, the final one is, MAIF has been given so many agencies under its care. Already MAIF is overburdened and has characteristics of inefficiency. Too many cooks spoil the broth. If we add on even UCDA, which is already an expert and stand alone on its own, working alone, then we are going to end up killing UCDA, because all these people will create inefficiencies.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I wish to respond to issues before I got the gist of my submission. Number one, it is not the fault of UCDA that Northern Region has not been major growing coffee. You should know, it was the government program to zone Uganda, allocating different products for different regions. And the Uganda government allocated Northern Region for cotton. Therefore, it was not UCDA, and we must not blame UCDA for that. Number two, Right Honourable Speaker, I have heard people saying government established UCDA, and therefore government should have the privilege of taking UCDA. Madam Speaker, let me mention this.
Clarification, Madam Speaker.
Can you be patient? Could you have a pen and paper and write?
I would need that Honorable Chemaswet should not misinform this House by relaying information which is not credible. He's a hired mercenary. Madam Speaker, I want to go to the point of the ministry.
Order. Honorable James. Honorable James. There is no hired machinery in this House. You cannot impute that there is a hiring machinery in this house. Honorable, just a minute. Honorable members,
Madam Speaker,
we have 220 members in this house seated physically. I have not even told you the ones who are virtually. I have 220 physically here. Nobody is a machinery. No one is a machinery. That must be expunged from the honorable members, please take your seats. Take your seats. Members, take your seats. Take your seats. Honorable members, we've been debating on this and have allowed 74 members, 74, to discuss this issue. I put a question that the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024 be read a second time. Those in favor say aye. The ayes have it. It must be noted that we had to take the vote through a division lobby because there was a contestation of the results of the voice voting under Rule 101 of the Rules of Procedure. And as the custodian of the rules, I listened to all sides, to everybody. And therefore, I really want to urge you, members, to have faith in the capacity of a presiding officer, other than being impartial. And presiding officers always try their best to be fair. And I want to inform you that the voting record of today is going to be part of the official parliamentary record. And it should be uploaded in the parliamentary information system for future reference. For future reference. If you want to know who voted, who did not vote, you should be able to vote. And we went to vote, we went for voting because we did not believe in the results. I now want to announce the results. The nays had 77. Congratulations. The ayes had 159. So the ayes and abstainees are nil. So the ayes have it, and I adjourn the House and dine.